Hey guys, how you doing? This is Shock, your old buddy here. And I was washing the motorcycle and I checked the front tire and I had a slow leak in the front tire. Very dangerous, which is why you always want to inspect your tires. So I'm getting the motorcycle tuned up and a new tire. Front tire, I won't patch it. You could patch those tires, but back tire I might patch it, the rear tire, but the front tire, no, I don't want to patch it. Safer to go ahead and get it a brand new tire. Hey, listen, I'm going to do a video on my way to work. This is unscripted, unrehearsed, just off the cuff, where I'm going to talk to you about how atheism doesn't make sense. That's the title of this video. Atheism doesn't make sense. What I would like you to do is click share below this video and send it to the prominent atheist on YouTube, because I would like to ask them this question, because atheism doesn't make sense. Here goes. As you guys know, I used to be an atheist, and I left the humanist religion of atheism. And I now have a true, honest-to-goodness relationship with God through His Son, Jesus Christ, the historic person of Jesus Christ. Now, the reason why I left atheism was because there was no proof or evidence that atheism was accurate and correct. But you see this semi right here? I could fill up literally 3 or 4 semis at least of proof and evidence of Jesus Christ and prophecies that came true. So imagine a scale of justice. You've all seen the picture of the woman, and she's blindfolded and she's holding the scale, and there's 2 scales, and you were to put all the proof and evidence that atheism offers on one of the scales and all the proof and evidence that Jesus Christ offers on the other end of the scale, and the one that has all the proof and evidence of Jesus Christ would be way down here, and the atheism scale would be up in the air, because I have found it, ladies and gentlemen, lacking proof and evidence. But not only that, atheism doesn't make sense. Let me explain. As you guys know, when we are speaking about the gospel of Jesus Christ, we know that God's standard is absolute perfection, and we know that only one was perfect, Jesus Christ. And Jesus said in John 3:16 through John 3:18, those that believe in Him are not condemned, but those that do not believe are condemned already. Present tense. Why would we be condemned already? Well, because we've all fallen short of God's standard, absolute perfection. And this is the condemnation, Jesus says, that light has come into the world, of men love darkness rather than light. But atheism, my friends, does not make sense. Let me explain. If I'm a Christian and I am preaching the awesome news, the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ, and you can avoid hell, you can live forever, you can have a close relationship with God in heaven, the creator of all things. If I'm doing that, there's a sense of urgency for me to do it, because the Bible says hell is enlarging itself daily. So you see, it makes sense that I am to discuss my Christian faith. It makes sense. The most famous person in the world, Jesus Christ, and the most famous book in the world, the Bible. It makes sense to discuss this. However, I have found there's evangelical atheists, ladies and gentlemen, on YouTube, and they have a sense of urgency to preach the humanist religion of atheism. And by the way, the United States courts have stated legally and officially that atheism is a religion. It is a religion. It is a humanist religion without God. Nevertheless, it is a religion. Now, this is what doesn't make sense. Atheism doesn't make sense. We recently had Ray Comfort on our radio show, and you're going to see it pop up here on the video here at shockonow.net. You can go there, you can listen to even Ray Comfort pointing out many things. He called in live to my radio show, and I was honored to have him. He's the one that won Thunderfoot in the debate, totally proving that atheism was madness. But anyways, he even said about atheism not making sense, and here's why. I'll ask atheists, I'll say, well, what's the sense of urgency for you to be an evangelical atheist? Why do you have to preach atheism? Because then I'll ask them, I'll say, where do you believe we go when we die? And they'll say, well, we go right to the ground, into the dirt. So then I ask them, well, what happens if I'm a Christian and I die? And they'll say, you go right to the ground, into the dirt. And I'll say, well, what happens if I'm an atheist when I die? You go right to the ground, into the dirt. This is what they say. They believe that you do not go to a heaven or hell. Of course, Jesus Christ spoke of hell more than anyone else. I think I'm going to go with Jesus Christ over madmen like Richard Dawkins, who doesn't know if God exists or not. You know that? Dawkins won't say that God doesn't exist, and he won't say that God does exist. He's like stuttering. He's stuttering within his own beliefs. And the Bible does say, man that is double-minded, you know, basically something like he'll trip on all his words. And boy, is Dawkins tripping on his word. So check this out. So I'll talk to atheists, my sweet, lovable, cuddly atheist friends, and I'll say, well, then what's the sense of urgency if you believe that we're going to go into the dirt and that's it? Why preach it then? Is it not true that if atheists truly believed in atheism, the humanist religion of atheism, they wouldn't preach atheism because the default ending is we all go into the dirt anyways? In other words, what is the urgency to be an evangelical atheist? It doesn't make sense. Well, in other words, look, Shock, I got to convince you, you've got to be an atheist. You've got to come to the truth, my friend. Why? Well, because when you die, you'll go to the dirt. What? That doesn't make sense. The atheists are trying to get us to believe in their religion, the humanist religion of atheism, so we can die and end up in the dirt. That's their message, ladies and gentlemen. The atheist message is, look, Jesus was lying. That's what atheists say. They want you to think that the most holy person in the world, the kindest person in the world, Jesus Christ, was a liar. That's what they want you and I to go ahead and believe. Now, you know, I've talked to some atheists, and I've talked to them about this quandary, and they'll bring up Santa Claus. They'll say, well, you probably believe in Santa. Now, you're going to see another video pop up. There's a syndrome called Santa syndrome, and I have proven that Santa Claus is the cause of atheism. I've proven it. Atheism doesn't make sense. But I talked to my sweet, lovable, cuddly atheist friends, and I'm like, why do you guys, you're obsessed with Santa? I've read the whole Bible, ladies and gentlemen, several times. Nowhere does it talk about Santa in there. So where did they get this Santa thing? Well, I'm going to show you. On that pop-up that appears on the video, click it and you'll hear my scientific evidence and studies that Santa Claus causes atheism. It's true. So atheism, my friends, doesn't make sense. You know, we had Richard Dawkins. I was, what's the word I'm looking for as I tap my finger to my formerly Bible reading mouth? I was shocked when Ray Comfort called into our radio show. And he discussed with us all the errors of atheism and evolution. Right here at shockonnow.net, you'll go there and it'll say Shock Radio, and you could hear me talking live with Ray Comfort. You know, Gear Up was there also. We had John Moyna from YouTube. We had D-Man for Christ. We had Nephilim Free there. We had, I know I'm leaving someone out. I know I'm leaving someone out. My mind's blank. Oh, I was there, of course. And we had, let me get over here for this truck president. We had the world famous Ray Comfort, the one that debated Thunderfoot and totally pwned Thunderfoot. Thunderfoot was so nervous talking to Ray Comfort that he was stuttering. It was like that song that's all gibberish to me. Anyways, atheism, my friends, just doesn't make sense. If you want proof of this, listen to live atheist callers calling in. We're all friendly to them, but calling in to my radio show at shockonnow.net right here. and click Shock Radio. You could even download the entire show for free. For 2 hours, we ask atheists to provide evidence that atheism was accurate and correct, and they fail.